Hey YouTube, it's Cash! This is my second video featuring mini record players. I will show a few more of these lo-fi devices and how I modified them to use in my musical experiments. I will put a link in the corner and in the description below to the first video. This is also part of a larger playlist because I will also be modifying the records I'll be playing, so I'll put a link in the corner and in the description to that as well. This brings us to the first thing I want to show you, which is not a mini vinyl player, but it will be the pacemaker to the demo at the end of the video. This is more about the record than the player. The player is just a mundane Sears 45 record player with a broken needle that I found at Goodwill. I added a piezo output from the speaker and a 1/4-inch output paralleled from the speaker leads. Now what can you do with a broken 45 player, you ask? I made a lo-fi pseudo drum machine with sporadic groove cut-up audio folded in. I used a strobe disc as a template to map out the rings of the record surface, which gives variation of tempo other than just the 33 or 45 revolutions per minute. Then I used different types of tape to divide the rings. Each kind of tape sounds its own noise frequency. The edge of the tape needs to be laid right on the dividing lines if you want the tempo to be accurate. I also scored a record with a razor to make rhythms. Even without a needle, it will sometimes pick up sound off the grooves and will play one or more of the grooves at the same time. I can also use the rhythm sound of the records to trigger other devices, which I'll show later in the video. I tried to modify the speed of this player and found that when I voltage starved the motor to slow it down, the speaker made a very audible hum, so I let it be. There is a way to rhythmically change the speed of the player and to take advantage of this hum at the same time. I used a light control device made for fake Christmas trees. One button shuffles through the pattern functions. I'm going to use this to power the record player, and I'm going to double down by using the Drolo stretch weaver to weave the audio from the player and a bleep drum through an MXR submachine. The first of the mini record players is a Bandy 8-band. I modified this so I can rhythmically control the spin of the record with my time interval generator. I also added an output with a potentiometer to control the mix from the piezo signal and a direct signal from the speaker. In addition to the flexi cut-ups I made for this, I also used some blanks to force the needle to skip. These blanks and some of the flexis I used are vintage SoundScriber recording discs.
I think should enjoy a very favorable rate. Also, signs will be at each entrance as well as the escalator, and they will give it complete in backing. Mr. Damn
The second player is a Mattel-O-Phone toy, which Simon the Magpie recently featured in one of his videos. The cool thing about this player is that the audio is generated only from the needle, so the sound quality is like that of a gramophone. I used an external box to house a battery-powered lapel mic to capture the sound that would have been funneled to a toy phone receiver via a tube made to look like a telephone cord. I also added contacts to rhythmically stutter the power to the mic so it can also be controlled by my time interval generator. I replaced the tiny belt that spins the record with a wide belt from an 8-track player and roughed up the shaft that turns the belt with an engraver. I also added a motor speed control so I can slow the motor down. I added a piezo to pick up the bell that is rung by spinning the rotary wheel. I made a cutout for this player as well, but the records for this are fantastically weird in their own right.
I'm your right sock. I'm your left sock. I think. You know which is which?
The last of these players is a Microsonics MS301 used for sonic educational purposes like these bird cards so you can hear what the birds sound like. Tecmo made a video on this player. In my last video on mini record players, I mentioned a player that is very similar to this one, a Fisher-Price Talk to Me player for use with Talk to Me books. These toy players are far poorer quality than the Microsonics, and mine is broken. The Microsonics has a built-in amplifier, speaker, and audio out with volume control. The Microsonics can also play the tiny Talk to Me records, so I made a few cut-ups combining birds and Dr. Seuss. I love the collage look of these. I also clipped the center pin of the Microsonics so I can manually move the card to make a needle-to-groove strain effect.
Rest-to-drip classrooms is common in yards and gardens, particularly in the West. Rest-to-drip classrooms is common in yards and gardens, particularly in the West.
In this demo, the 45 player is clocking the Pocket Clocket by Moffin Modular. The Pocket Clocket is clocking or sequencing everything else using my signature shutter driver time interval generator signal path. The time interval generator is triggering the devices that can be triggered as previously mentioned. The Pocket Clocket is also control voltage triggering the Chase Bliss Habit and Mood, as well as the Korg Volca Beats put through the Red Panda Particle and the Bastel D-Drum through the Moist by Magpie Pedals. The Mattel-O-Phone is affected by the Chase Bliss Mood, and the Bandy 8-band is affected by the Habit. I mixed the piezo bell output from the Mattel-O-Phone with the audio from the 45 player going into the Pocket Clocket, so when rung, it throws the Pocket Clocket into a momentary chaos. The 45 player audio is through the Electro Harmonics Microsynth, and the Microsonics is through the Montreal Assembly Count to 5. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.